Hello, and welcome everybody to yet another video. Today is a little bit different. It's gonna be a new series, Irithar, One Step Forward. Now, you might see here, that the name's a bit different than, say, Haraka Ramal. My Discord server, a Potato Makeover, actually has quite a few DMs in it. I just happen to be one of them. So my campaign that we are just now launching, Echoes of Ragnarok, is just now going live as one of the DMs. That's me. So you all might remember that Haraka Ramal is another series ran by my buddy Gray. So if you guys ever want to ask any questions, get help, or just sit in and listen, you guys are always welcome to join the Discord and, get a vibe for the place. It is pretty chaotic sometimes. I also would like to take this moment to ask you for likes and subscribes. We are still a small channel, and I don't want to get big or anything, but I definitely want to try to reach out to more people and just show them the beauty of D&D, show them the beauty of being a nerd, just have fun. Feel free to check out the links below, guys. Put in the comments what you guys think. And with that, further ado, enjoy this new series.
Welcome to the Potato Call. Family.
Up on the city streets, back with our wizard gal, there are little plumes of smoke that are coming out of the sewer grates now, as talk is beginning to spread about the goings on down below. They are very hushed whispers. Even though this is a publicly known event that's happening, it's a very taboo topic to talk about the Undercity, and so people are kind of just murmuring and whispering. There are plumes of smoke that are starting to seep out of the manholes around the city, and very hushed whispers talking about the race that's going on down below, and something about a person named Churchill, and something about a person named Swiftgate. And you see a group of sea elves that kind of sneak off laughing with each other and are heading towards the entrance to the sewers, where people had been kind of branching off from the big crowd that left the ships. And it seems like more people are starting to head down there as things are starting to kick up.
Okay. Well, she will continue to follow. Keep the hood of her robe held over her face so that she's not very visible.
Okay, so as you get down to or I'm guessing you're following the elves that are going down there, or?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, as you go down there, you see a large stone coliseum, where it's kind of the seats are on the outside and on the normal floor level, and there's been a large pit dug into the floor where these buggies are driving around, and you hear just enough to know that they're on their last lap, and it's very close, with Swiftgate ahead as she blew up part of the wall in order to slow down Churchill. You see a large bugbear in one of the cars with a big barrel of alcohol under his arm, and then you see a woman, well, not necessarily a woman, you see a person more slender fit, with a motorcycle type helmet on that covers her face, in a black sleeker buggy with the name Swiftgate graffiti spray painted on the side of it. It's very clear that both racers are experienced. It just seems like one of them is taking this a little bit more seriously than the other.
I'm very serious when I'm drunk.
Yeah, I didn't say who was near the entrance where you entered. You see a bunch of different people all around. Probably the one that catches your eye the most is a short man with a chipmunk on its shoulder, standing on the like benches trying to see. And then you see a like tiefling woman that just very much looks unimpressed, kind of further away down the space, looking, both of them kind of watching this race. There are a few other people that kind of stand out, making their way into this area. There are these humanoid figures with like cat ears that kind of enter in behind you. They look more feline in their features. There's a tall, more muscular man with a scimitar on his hip, and a woman wearing more robe-like clothing, and then kind of walking in behind them, looking a little bit more skittish than the other two, is a smaller man resembling the clothing of the larger man, with a scimitar of poorer quality and a bow strung over himself. But these are kind of like the main people that stick out as different than everyone else. Most of the people in this space are human, as Aetherforge typically tends to house more humans than not, as the other kingdoms kind of have their own races that broke off and decided to follow the former leaders that separated themselves, like Tidebreak with the Seed Elves having their own community. As this race is going on, Lyria, what are you doing? Metal. I think Metal died.
Metal me boy.
No. Okay. But yeah. So the race continues. Mr. Alvin, are you present?
I am.
What are you trying to do in this situation? Watching this fucking fiasco go on, this race, these people getting to fights over who's winning and shit.
I'd probably try and like. Well, did I come in with Lyria or no?
You came around the same time as her, but you did not like walk in with her. You're not associated with each other.
Then I'd probably just try and find somewhere high where I can watch in the back and not get hit by these fucking idiots.
Okay.
Go with it. I just somewhere in the back where I can watch.
Okay. Greg, give me another D100 roll.
Alrighty. 19.
Cool. As you start to approach the finish line, you watch as Swiftgate just pulls further ahead, and your wheel, the one that you had casted Mending on, starts to crumble again. And as you look back at like the wheel itself, there are vines that are growing around it.
Oh goodness.
And the vines themselves are almost like wiry more than they are naturalistic and plant-like. Like if you took a bunch of copper wire, round them together, and then wrap them around the axle, it seems like that's what's happening. And there's a loud crack, and then you watch as the wheel falls off and your car like tips to its back left and starts dragging into the dirt, skidding and like crashing up against the wall again. This time going directly into the wall itself. And you see Swiftgate just kind of give like a sarcastic salute as she crosses the finish line and the race is over.
And with that, Churchill scream out, "Swear!" Raising his arms angrily in the air as he just fuck you.
There's a mix of like boos and cheers as the race is called. Luckily, Churchill is still alive. One of the only two people to really have gotten out of this unscathed, as Swiftgate just comes to a subtle stop after the finish line and climbs out of her buggy. as she steps out, you see that she is wearing like armor that is meant for racing. It's very like sleek and form-fitting. She takes off her helmet, and it's a drow with like very like soft lavender colored skin and white hair that drapes down to like below her chin. She runs her hand through her hair and just kind of shakes it out, now having the helmet off. And you see she just kind of smiles at you before walking over towards a group of like fans that are waiting down by the pit. And she starts to just sign autographs and greet people, very clearly doing so in front of you, not worried about the fact that you are just able to see her. But yeah, the race is called, and these large constructs start to clear the rubble out of the track and level it. Whereas it usually is more like a NASCAR track where it kind of tilts to the side on the edges. They are making it a flat space for whatever is up next in this goings on. But you are free to do as you please as these things are happening.
With that, he gets out of his car, looking at, just kind of assessing the damage. All right, what am I gonna have to do to fix this thing this time? All right, Chief. As he's gonna wave to Chief up in the. Up
he just like
scaffold.
Puts his hand up and like puts it to his ear, and he's like, I can't hear you. I can't. What? So sorry, can't hear you.
What? Can you get the boys over here? I just need help moving the car.
You need what?
Need the boy. I'll get a construct to do. Construct. He's gonna point to a nearest construct. Can you help me move our car over to the pit? You
just
need to
like,
clear the space anyways.
This large like robotic creature just kind of turns its head to regard you, and then looks at the car and like drags itself over. They don't really have like legs. It's more just they have a body and they have arms, and these arms are kind of like they drill into the floor and drag it across the floor. It's just upper body strength essentially. Gotcha. But it grabs your buggy with almost like a bulldozed claw hand, and just it kind of crushes it a little bit as it picks it up, and just tosses it towards your garage. It lands, rolls a little bit, definitely hits one of your crew members, and it just like turns to look back at you, and then just drags itself back to what it was doing beforehand.
He's just kind of looking at it, kind of shocked, like, "Oh, right, I forgot how murderous these things could be. I should really stop drinking while I'm driving." No, it's fine. It's fine. All right, Chief. And he's gonna start staggering his way over to the pit. All right, let's get this thing fixed up, and you get. Sorry, who got hit by the car? Yeah, get over here, and I'll fix you up, because he's gonna cast Cure Wounds on the guy who got hit by his car.
Yeah, it's definitely like he had quite a bit of damage sustained from like this thing sliding into him, and just at a pretty decently good speed. He's just like, thanks. Just like groaning and cracking stuff back into place as this magic is taking effect.
Nice. Yeah, sorry about that, man. I always forget how these guys always run, just mindlessly doing their job.
Yeah, speaking of mindlessly doing their job and just being a complete dumbass, do you want to explain why you didn't come into the pit when I told you to multiple times? And you like turn and see the crew chief that is like now standing next to you, pretty like shorter compared to you. He's like 6'2". He's like looking at you, arms crossed, just very much like annoyed with your actions.
Come on, Brutus. You saw how good I was doing out there. I would have fallen way behind. We wouldn't finish within the top 2, man. Come on, like I had
You
to
bombed
do it.
the 4th place person. Literally.
Like, it happens. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get a little distracted up there, dude.
Just, you're so fucking reckless when it comes to driving. And I swear, if the fans didn't love you, you would have lost the sponsorship a long fucking time ago. And here comes this bitch. And he, like, motions behind you, and you see Swift Grace kind of walking towards you, helmet and, like, tucked under her arm, as she just is smiling and waving at people up in the stands, just blowing kisses and making her way towards you. It says, you couldn't have at least taken her out?
You didn't think I was trying to? You saw what kind of shit she has on her car. I would need to get quite a bit of stuff on mine to properly deal with her.
Well, if you hadn't wrecked the first 2 cars, we would have had shit to deal with her. But...
Well, I'm sorry. I'm a better driver when I'm drunk.
It does not seem that way. And then you just feel the presence of this woman kind of walk past and around you. And she just kind of smiles at Brutus and puts her hand on his shoulder and says, you would have needed quite a bit more if you were going to beat me. But it is a valiant effort. And she looks at you and says, Churchill, it's always fun racing against you. And always seeing you lose. Again. And again. And a 3rd time. Probably a 4th if you're here next week.
At this point, Churchill just, like, through gritted teeth, like, trying to fake the world's fakest smile. Oh, yes, it's wonderful to be around you too, Swift, and see you constantly blow up guys and kill them.
Oh, right, that too.
I mean, that's the 5th time I've seen you use that exact wand to immediately kill a bastard.
She just kind of like smirks a little bit and goes, you were counting? It's so sweet of you.
Yeah, I gotta keep track of everyone at a certain point.
Well, I always love my fans. And she kind of like pats you on the chest. Says, well, I'm far too busy to continue. I would sign autographs, but unfortunately I'm all out of ink for my pens. Rain check, perhaps. And then she just kind of like winks at you and walks back towards her group.
At this point, Churchill, Brutus can see his like right arm visibly starting to twitch as he just, Brutus, give me anything to speak right now, please.
He just hands you like a very large wrench. You just come at it.
And he's just gonna grab it and just like try to bend this thing like.
Give me a strength check. I'll say with advantage because like you're a bugbear and you're fucking angry.
19.
Yeah, it fully just cracks under the pressure and just bends. The group up top just watches Churchill and Swift talking to each other. Can't really hear what they're saying, but when Swift walks away, he bends a wrench out of like just being frustrated and angry.
Jay, quick question for you.
What's up?
Would I know of this place in past experiences?
You would know that this place used to be used for other things, but since has been turned into kind of like a secret event circle for the more nefarious individuals. Typically like illegal races, fights, a lot of arena things go on down here. But it used to be deeply rooted in ritualistic magic.
Okay.
It used to be a nice part of town and all.
Then they fucking moved these darkies.
Fucking drow came in, tell you what.
Gentrified the whole place.
She's going to look around towards the Coliseum a bit and just be like, oh yes, I remember that used to be where Smitty did his one arcane magic. Oh yes, he did such splendid stuff. But now they just allow anything in here, even a bugbear. Oh.
Somebody next to you just kind of like side eyes you when you make that comment. It's like,
I'm just imagining.
Well, racist.
Next to her has a Churchill shirt specifically.
It's the two dudes that were just in a fist fight over who loves Churchill more.
Like,
just
like with little top hats with like the drink coolers in them.
Yes.
Yes.
It was his hat, Mr. Krabs. Right. So as everything is kind of like dying down as far as the race, these constructs level out the field, and a large like podium is dragged out that is made of like wood and stone, and there is a man that approaches the podium itself, and there's set before him a metallic circle with different runes that are lighting up the pole of this makeshift microphone, essentially. And these runes for our spellcasters is very clear that it's a thaumaturgy styled microphone where it's just meant to broadcast his voice at a louder frequency, but it's a mix of machine and magic, like most of the things down here. Yeah. Ooh, scary. But he speaks into the mic and says, "Ladies and gentlemen of our esteemed guests and Colosseum goers, it's my pleasure to introduce the festivities for this evening. The Queen's birthday has dawned upon us once more, and she thought fit to gift us with a challenge. One that boasts a hefty reward for those willing to put themselves through the trial of earning it. If you believe that you are one of these people, you are encouraged to step down from the Colosseum, make your way down the stairs," and he like motions to where it's not like a staircase, it's where the constructs blew a hole in the wall that leads up to the top and just let the rubble fall, so it's like a ramp made of rubble. And he goes, "Make your way to the stairs and fill out some finalized paperwork," and he just kind of smirks at that little section of speech. Says, "You will be handsomely rewarded if you win, and if you lose, well, I hope you do not care about honor and legacy and all those futile things, because you will not have any to boast for. There is many from Tidebreak in our presence today. The sea dwellers feel fit to grace us with their presence, and I see our little folk from Carnas Hollow also have made the trek. Hopefully one of you will be able to claim what the Queen has promised. And speaking of which," he motions and a like pallet is lowered from the ceiling by like chain and crane, and it's a large like covered with like a sheet machine of some kind, and he pulls the sheet down, and it almost seems like a light bulb shaped at first, but as these two large cylinders kind of rotate around it, blue lightning starts to charge on the inside of the bulb, almost like the Tesla coil type of like little ball. It reached like the lightning reaching out towards the like cylinders as they rotate around this thing. Everyone give me a perception check.
Already.
Oh, fuck.
14.
11.
Wait. Oh,
Perception, yep.
Perception. I was like, wait, why isn't my perception a 10? Because I'm not a monk.
Metal.
Yes,
I need your perception.
I did.
Yeah, he rolled a 9. It's not showing in roll 20.
Okay. It's fine. I'll say 13 or higher. You notice that in the lightning, there's for half a second almost a face that appears in the lightning itself, and then it's gone just as fast as it shows up. And as it continues flickering, it almost seems like the lightning that's extending out towards the cylinders starts to form like fingers and hands pushing against the glass, and then it just retreats back into this chaotic sparked lightning form. And the man continues and says, I present to you the spark. And a bunch of people are like, what the fuck is that? Like, what is that thing? And below it, it funnels down kind of like how a light bulb would, to where it would socket into a fixture. But it funnels down, and it, like the lightning drains down into this funnel into a small, like, flask-sized bottle. And the bottle fills with a light blue, crackling liquid. The lightning in the bulb completely diminishes to nothing, and there is it almost looks like a blue cologne bottle that is just full of like a crackling, wispy energy. And he says, this is the spark. It has enough energy to power any machine that you would dare dream up. It has enough magic potential to power any spell, no matter how strong. This is God-level magic that I hold in my fingers. And he seems almost kind of like proud of it. And he says, as one of the Queen's, Primus's first engineers, it has taken me 13 years to make something of this quality and this grade, and the Queen sees it fit to be a reward for one of you willing to participate in the event. This is not something that can be replicated again and again. There will only ever be a few of these batteries in existence, these arcane batteries. And you see that the liquid inside seems to freeze almost like an ice, and then melt back into a liquid, and then it turns into a gas, and then back into a liquid, and it's constantly changing forms of matter. And at one point it even looks like almost coagulated, like plasma, as this, like, still you can still see like the little sparks and zaps of remnants of lightning crackling inside. He says it takes several individuals pouring their essence into a singular spark in order to get a fraction of this bottle. But this is the prize that you will be fighting for, working for, earning. And he sets it down back on the podium where he originally drew it from, underneath this light bulb machine. There are a lot of whispers and hums of possible plans. The first thought that probably would enter each of your minds is the value that it has to your individual self. Whether that's selling it for profit to buy something, or using it for its magical capabilities, or using it for its functional capabilities as far as machinery goes. Just various ideas of what it would be worth if there's only going to be a few of these created. And it's not necessarily going to be a replicable thing that anyone can just make. It's going to be a very high demand, very strong item. But yeah, this is the information that he gives, and he just puts his hands behind his back, kind of folded. It says, anyone that is willing to participate will be rewarded. If you are not, then you will not be. And I ask you to leave now. And there's like a few people that start to like filter out, and it's like, I'm not getting involved in this shit. Like, this just seems like a bad idea. And then there is a large clanking and scraping noise. All of you, even with your lower perception rolls from before, hear the sounds of iron and like metal sliding. You see the two large constructs that have been clearing out the races tonight, dragging themselves into the Colosseum again, from their little like enclosures, essentially. The man like turns his head to look at one of them, and then turns his head to look at the other, and says, "What were you doing?" And the sound of like slamming metal can be heard from each of the entrances to the Colosseum, as these iron bars slam closed, cutting off exits or entrances to the Colosseum. The construct, like one construct looks at the other, and they kind of just glare at each other for a moment, and then glare back at the machine. And the one that threw Churchill's car leans back on his arms and then sends one flying down onto the light bulb itself, breaking and shattering the machine, sending the cylinders flying. The man jumps in like surprise and worry, as this machine is like rent asunder, and glass and metal are flown everywhere. And then there are the like sounds of almost like gunshots that go off, and people start screaming. There's a lot of movement running around, and you see 4 hooded figures. Their cloaks are blood red, with a strange symbol on the back of their cloak, and they all like jump down into the Colosseum itself. Their masks, they have like masks that are white and featureless, and cover the entirety of their face. Their eyes are, there's no eye holes for their eyes. It is just like black voids where their eyes should be. And they all approach this podium and machine as shit starts to break loose in the stands. Nobody knows who's attacking who or what's going on. There's just spells flying, machines are whirling around. These constructs are still in the center, having fully destroyed the machine that got rid of, or like that held the lightning before. And these figures are surrounding the man that was speaking on the podium. The constructs slide their hands into the dirt that they had been leveling and pull up, and you see that there are large chains that are in their grasp now that were hidden below the dirt itself, and they pull, and the like ground starts to shake and twist almost like a whirlpool in the middle of the Colosseum itself. Churchill, you are the only person from our party that is down here when this happens. It feels like the ground instantly becomes more sand than solid, and starts almost draining towards the middle. Your arms are long enough and your body's tall enough that you can climb up onto the stand area, but your crew and your pit crew will be stuck down there, if not gotten out. There's about 5 of them, including your pit chief, with how fast the floor is like draining, you would only have a chance to save 3.
All right, he is going to kind of in a moment of panic, but quickly like stealing himself. Brutus, hold on! And he's gonna first grab Brutus, throw him up into the stand.
What the fuck? Okay. He's like looks around. He's like, "What the fuck is going on?"
He's then going to grab the nearest 2, because I'm not sure of like all the specifics of them. So
yeah, they're just like the mechanics and like the people that change your tires and such.
Yeah.
And
yeah, he'll grab the nearest 2. Hopefully, it's one of the ones he healed earlier, and throw them up as well. And at this point, he's gonna turn, trying to grab for the other 2.
Okay, give me a dex save.
9.
You watch as one of them is like pulled by the, like he reaches out for you and is quickly pulled by a like cluster of sand that swirls and pulls him in. The second one is like latching onto the car, like the buggy itself, and he is like panicking heavily. You see this. Well, first you hear this like chingling sound of almost like keys clanking, and you turn and see Swift Grace with like running towards you above the sand. So like her feet are like hovering just above the sand as it's coming down, and she has like these spurs on the back of her shoes that are glowing like a slight golden light as she's running, and her eyes are kind of like reflecting the same color like her irises are, so it's like a gold on black as she's approaching towards you. She runs past you, reaches down, grabs your last remaining crew member by his like the back of his collar and throws him towards you, almost like barreling him into you, as she jumps up onto like the stands next to Brutus and the rest of your crew, just above you on like the wall.
All right, hold on, and just throw him like weight throw behind him, just over onto the wall.
Yeah, Brutus and the other 2 pit members immediately like just hug onto him as he's in the air and pull him onto the stands. Everyone else in the group, you all see this like pit opening up in the floor, and let's see, Lyria, you realize in this moment that the place itself isn't really that different from what you remember. It's shallower than what you remember. And as the sand drowns out, you see on the floor now, still with a bit of sand still in it, but now more revealed, there is a dark stone area below where they were racing, that leads into the space that you remember as being a ritualistic place. It is covered in various very dark necromantic runes. There's the stains of old blood sacrifices and just skeleton remains all over the floor. And a woman, one of the people that was in these red cloaks, she is standing in front of the man that was announcing the prize. She kind of turns and looks over the crowd, pulls out a silver blade with engravings that resemble pictures more than words, and she slits the man's throat, letting him bleed over his clothes and himself as the other people are holding his arms behind his back. And then she holds the blade out towards the crowd, and a few droplets land onto the floor and immediately are soaked into the ground. And you hear a voice that echoes not in the building, but everyone hears it in their mind. This deep guttural sound of, "The age of Aether Forge is done. We are returning, and we are very hungry." And this heat starts to envelop the entire space. Everyone starts to lose consciousness from how hot this area is now becoming, except for Lyria, who is probably more used to it than they would care to admit.
Nope, not at all. Nope, not me.
No, never you.
I'm a good
but
girl.
People are starting to sweat from how hot it's instantly becoming, and a very familiar scent starts to fill your nostrils, Lyria. This large clawed hand with red skin and hair begins to emerge from the blood puddle that was left from the knife. And it almost seems to crack the stone as it perches itself up out of the hole to pull itself up. And following the hand is an arm, and then a shoulder, and then a horned head with a goatee that has been draped down to its chest in length, follows suit, following up to its body, and a very large demonic creature emerges from this portal that has been laid out in front of it.
Do I recognize what it is?
You recognize who it is.
Okay.
It's a huge bitch.
It's a big bitch. But you are very familiar with this entity. And never has it occurred where it being present has led to good things for the people it is present near. But yet, you all watch as this very huge demon prince is pulled from the Nine Hells and stands in front of the crowd and says, "Very, very hungry." And the 4 red-cloaked individuals immediately rush out into the crowd, and there once again are screams of pain and very not-so-fun things as people are beginning to be murdered in the middle of viewing this. And that, my friends, is where we're going to leave off for tonight.
It's come to my attention that this is the end of the video. Well, if that is the case, go like and sub.